Hi cuties! Tracing changes through thousand years. If you hear it, what did you remember? Of course, tracing changes through thousand years is actually mean history. So, how an ancient man lived is completely different from what we live. Am I right? They lived a life that is equal to an animal. They had no proper shelter or food for themselves. But now it is not so. We are living a completely civilized life. So, this the changes that we have came over, the evolutions that we have come across, the things that has been changed. These all we are going to study in history. This is what the history is all about. Am I right? So, in history, we may study how an ancient man lived. How did the agriculture started? And what did they wear? What type of dresses did they wear? What type of languages did they speak? What type of games did they play? What type of songs did they sing? These all will be covered in history. But do you know a secret? History is a part of social studies. But there is another part of social studies that is called as geography. The geography and history are completely linked with each other. In fact, without geography, there is no history, and without history, there is no geography. To understand this better, I will tell you an example. If a person in ancient times must have to travel for his food and shelter. But when he came to some type of development, he started to travel only to upgrade his knowledge and know about this world. So when he started to do so, he wanted some map. Am I right? அவன் எப்போ இந்த டெவலப்மெண்ட் அதாவது சாப்பாடுக்காக ட்ராவல் பண்ணது மாதிரி நாலேஜை டெவலப் பண்ணுறதுக்காக ட்ராவல் பண்ண ஆரம்பித்தானோ அப்போது அவனுக்கு மேப் அப்படிங்கிற ஒன்று தேவைப்பட்டது. மேப் அப்படின்னா என்ன? நம்ம ஃபஸ்ட் இனிஷியலாக எதுக்கு மேப் யூஸ் பண்ணாங்க? ஒருத்தர் ட்ராவல் ஆகுறாருன்னா அவர் மறுபடியும் அந்த இடத்துக்கு ட்ராவல் ஆகுறதுக்கோ இல்லை மற்றவங்களுக்கு அந்த இடத்துக்கு எப்படி ட்ராவல் ஆகுறதுன்னு சொல்கிறதுக்கோ அல்லது அவரோட நெக்ஸ்ட் ஜென்ரேஷனுக்கு அந்த அந்த இடத்துக்கு எப்படி ட்ராவல் ஆகுறதுன்னு சொல்கிறதுக்கோ ஒரு ரூட்டை ட்ரேஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கான ஒரு சோர்ஸ் தான் மேப். அப்படி தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மேப் எவால்வ் ஆச்சு. இந்த மேப் அப்படிங்கிற ஒன்று ஃபர்ஸ்ட் யார் டிசைன் பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்னா அரேப்ஸ் அண்ட் யூரோப்பியன்ஸில் ஃபஸ்ட்டு டிசைன் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. Why did they design? What is the need of map to them? அப்படின்னா they travel lot of places over the seas and land. So when they do so, they needed a map. Obviously they need a map. So they designed the map. The culture of geography actually developed by Arabs and Europeans. Arabs and Europeans. So there lived a king who was in need of map. So he ordered an Arab geographer. We know what does a geographer mean. The person who is well versed in geography is called as geographer. Arab geographer Al-Idrisi to design a map. So he designed a map in 1154 CE. So Arab geographer designed a world map in 1154 CE. But his map had lot of errors within it. That too, mainly if we consider our country, India, this is the part of his world map which shows our subcontinent India. If you see here, the Sri Lanka is located top of our country India. Actually, this is the correct location of Sri Lanka. Am I right? Now, India is located at the top and Sri Lanka should be located bottom. But he just tilted the actual geographical area 180 degrees. So, the second error, the second most important error in his map, all the places are spelled only in Arab. And the third error is most of the places spelled in Arab, most of the familiar places are wrongly spelled. These are some of the main errors that we find in this map. So, if there is an error in the past, obviously we need to rectify it in future. Am I right? So, this map which has many errors is rectified, and these errors were overcome by a French cartographer in 1720s. So what does this word cartographer mean here? But the earlier map was designed by a geographer. Why the cartographer come here? What did he mean? The word cartographer means the person who designed the map. The person who designed the map are called as cartographers, and the art of designing map is called as cartography. So this is the map, this is the part of his world map, that is French cartographer's world map that represent our country India. His name was Gulame d'Isle. If you see here, the South India and North India were given clearly, and if you see bottom of the map, Sri Lanka is located obviously in correct place. So, and also one of the most merit of his map, he clearly mentioned the coastal areas. What is the coastal areas? The land which separate the land and sea, ஒரு சீயோட ஒரு border மாதிரி. So that area is clearly mentioned in his map. So this is the main important merit of his map, and also all the places were spelled in English and most of the familiar places were spelled correctly. So if I ask which map is better, what will you say? Which will you choose? Of course, we will choose the map that was designed by a French cartographer. That is this map, because this map has many merits and also very little errors. So, if you consider the words and languages that got many changes over years, am I right? For example, if you consider our mother tongue Tamil, the past language, the ancient people who spoke Tamil, the Tamil that has been spoken by ancient people is completely different than that we spoke. Am I right? பழங்காலத்து மக்கள் பேசின தமிழுக்கும் நம்ம பேசுகிற தமிழுக்கும் there are lot of differences. And also the language that we speak, நம்மளோட vocal languageக்குமே நம்மளோட written languageக்குமே there are lot of differences. So ஒரு 10 to 20 இயர்ஸ்லே சேஞ்சஸ் நிறையா வந்துருச்சு. அப்போது 600 இயர்ஸ்க்கு முன்னாடி போய் பார்த்தோம்னா எவ்வளோ சேஞ்சஸ் வந்திருக்கும். ஸோ ஹியர் one of the most important word Hindustan, which had different meaning in the medieval period. According to you, what does the word Hindustan mean? At present, the word Hindustan means the another name of our modern subcontinent India. But in medieval period, this is not so. Many people represented Hindustan for the different means. For example, in 13th century, Minhaj-i Siraj represented the word Hindustan to denote the land of Punjab and Haryana, and also the land between the Ganga and Yamuna. He represented the Hindustan in political sense because these lands, that is Punjab and Haryana, and also the land between Ganga and Yamuna, are ruled by Delhi Sultanate. According to him, the word Hindustan does not mean South India at all. And in the same way, in 16th century, Babur represented the word Hindustan different means. He represented the word Hindustan to denote the culture and flora and fauna wealth of our subcontinent India. In the same way, Amir Khusrau, a poet, represented the word Hind to represent our wealth. So, Amir Khusrau and Babur represented the word Hindustan nearly and similarly in the same means. So, but now the word Hindustan means the country India. In the same way, the word foreigner had also different meaning. At present, the word foreigner means the person who is not native or related to our customs and culture of our subcontinent. But in the medieval period, it was different. If for your understanding, just consider two villages, village A and village B. The people who live in village B are foreigners to village A, and the people who live in village A are foreigners to village B. So at the same time, the person who live in forest are called as forest dwellers. Am I right? So the forest dwellers are foreigners to these two villages, and the people who live in town are called as town dwellers. The people who live in town are called as town dwellers. Town dwellers are considered to be foreigners by all these people. Now, can you understand it? Suppose we are living in a town. It may be a Chennai or Madurai, any other place. The people living in Madurai are considered to be the foreigners to the people live in Chennai. If you are living in a small village, the people who live out of your village all are considered to be the foreigners to you. If you are living in a small town, the people who live out of your town all are considered to be the foreigners to you. So, if you see in the slide, you can note a word medieval period. Did you note it? So, what does this medieval period mean? For our clear understanding, for example, our book, it can be any book, our subject book. It can be science book, maths book, social studies book, English book, any book. You can see the chapter classification. Can you? Yes. These chapters are classified for our clear understanding and for our clear study. If you just imagine a book without chapters, for example, உங்கள் SS புக்கில் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி ஜியாகிரஃபி சிவிக்ஸ் ஹிஸ்ட்ரியில் ஒரு 10 லெசன்ஸ் அப்படிலாம் செப்பரேட் பண்ணாமல் இந்த 10 லெசன்ஸையும் ஒரே லெசனாக கொடுத்துருந்தா கேன் யூ ஸ்டடி இட்? நோ, நாட் அட் ஆல் பாசிபிள். ஸோ சாப்டர்ஸ் ஆர் கிளாசிஃபைட் ஃபார் ஆர் கிளியர் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் அண்ட் வெல் ஸ்டடி. ஒரு சாப்டரை எதுக்கு கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணியிருக்காங்க? அதை நம்ம கிளியராக படிக்கவும் மற்ற சாப்டருக்கும் அதுக்கும் ஒரு டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் இருக்கும், அதனால கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அட் த சேம் மீன்ஸ் ஆர் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி ஆல்சோ கிளாஸிஃபைட் இன்டு சாப்டர்ஸ். தட் இஸ் பீரியோடைசேஷன். Our history is periodized into 3 periods. They are ancient period, medieval period and modern period. The ancient period, if you consider ancient period, the start of civilization is called as ancient period. The ancient period is the period when the civilization has started. and medieval period. The medieval period is the period when many ideas, many development has established, mainly science, technology, democracy and equality. இது எல்லாமே டெவலப் ஆனது மீன்ஸ் இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் ஆனது medieval period தான். Okay, then what is that modern period called? The modern period is considered as the period of new ideas and transformations. அந்த கிடைச்ச ஸ்டார்ட் ஆன நிறையா டெக்னாலஜியோட டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸ் அண்ட் டெவலப்மெண்ட் மாடர்ன் பீரியடில் தான் நடந்தது. ஓகே, ஸோ ஐ ஹோப் you have been understood this clearly. So we can meet in next session. Up to that, bye.